I ask your indulgence for just a moment. As you already know, I'm never lengthy when I come up and I talk about anything because I feel that the work that I do outside, I don't have to proclaim it here. I was elected by the residents of last November, and at that time I made a 4-year commitment as I took the oath of office, and I stood right there, that I would protect the city's charter no matter what. My decision to run for commissioner was definitely not arbitrarily done, neither was it on my bucket list of things to do. I have given hundreds of hours, volunteer hours in many capacities. Everyone knows that I love Lauderdale Lakes, and I will defend us until the end. Even when we were having financial difficulties, I was defending us. When my husband was asked to run, I was not enthused at all, because I did realize that politics can be dirty and low down and nasty. His commitment was to the city of Lauderdale Lakes. He said, I need to run. This is what he said. So I reluctantly went along, and in 1998, he ran and was successful. From that, I became more involved in Lauderdale Lakes and pulled away from the activities that I was doing in Lauderdale Lakes. My children were raised here. My volunteer hours with Sue Campbell teaching our children in the recreation department was one of the things that I really did every summer. A number of negative issues have taken place dealing with our city that has concerned me, as I use the term allegedly, apparently, presumably throughout. Allegedly, I was not an elected official at the time, however, I do have to say we. We use the city slogan loosely at times. We care. Many times I've asked the manager about changing the phone system. Residents come to me and ask, why is it that we can't get anybody at the city? Actually speak with someone and not the machine. So far, nothing has been done. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see where we have hundreds of calls coming in. Our license department fees were not collected from our business in the past, and subsequently some businesses have not done so for years. At one time, City Hall was closed during lunchtime. Residents were getting off and can't take care of business here at the city because all departments were at lunchtime. I spoke up and that was changed. There are some issues that made me decide to run for commissioner. If a change was to take place, I would have to take the step and the plate to change some of the negative images that we have in our city. Lauderdale Lakes is one of them. We have a website that's not up to standard. I've asked the city manager to please put our information on there. The community redevelopment agency is a very important part of the city. It is not reflected on the website. The community garden, nothing. I know the garden is not liked by a few. However, it's one thing that has gotten us nothing but positive press by the Sun Sentinel, the Orlando Sentinel, the Miami Herald, and the University of Florida. Now, one of these items are ever posted on the website. I recall, I don't understand why it has not been addressed. People have spoken to the city manager, different residents, about information on the website. I have spoken with the manager, and I assume it was his choice not to do so. I have spoken numerous of times at the podium regarding the political process, or how the political process worked. We, the citizens, elected commissioner and mayor. The mayor and commissioner hired the city manager to carry out the day-to-day operations. The commission is still responsible. When we were in that difficult time, people were talking about, well, the commission is responsible. You all hired the manager, but that's okay. The manager allegedly keeps the commission informed of what's going on. Any issues taking place, the commission should be properly notified prior. The special election that was sold to the residents as saving money by the leading commissioners was erroneous. Information sent to the residents stated a different figure that the commission actually get. If you go to the city charter, it states commissioners can receive $9,000 a year, period. Any other amenities to include travel, classes, and what have you have voted on by the commissioner should not have been included as a savings. No one knows how to be a commissioner when you first elected, so it is important that newly elected makes the choice to become educated. If it was about saving money, all of that could have been voted on to alleviate the educational part. That the commissioner can change. You cannot change the charter. The city residents would have to be the ones that vote on that. Now back to the election. It was voted on by 3 commissioners and the mayor voting to have the election as special not on a regular rotation schedule, would have been August. I don't understand what the importance of rushing was. If it was about saving money, the election would have been held in August or November. However, with the special election costing the taxpayers upwards of $52,000, instead of being placed on normal rotation in August and November, the election, when I was elected to get a larger voter turnout, it was a countywide shared election. The cost just a little bit over $5,000. We spent over $50,000 instead of $5,000. Where's that savings for a city in financial crisis? One of the printed matter materials almost cost $10,000, which is what a commissioner makes a year. Where is the savings? The majority of the commission and the mayor again voted to reduce the commission, apparently sponsored by the city manager. I know not the reason, as I was not sitting here, but I can tell you this: it has definitely negatively affected how the city business run. Based on the erroneous information sent out to all the residents, only 1,017 people voted in the special election to change. If I didn't know better as a resident, I would have probably voted the same way. But because I'm more educated, I understood. The election, only 1,017 voted, and let's just say at $52,000 divided by a number, it cost the city $50 a vote. The community CRA, the different boards, every time we have to vote on a resolution, we have the possible tie vote because of 3-3, because the process was not thoroughly thought out. These tie votes have the possibility of preventing the CRA of doing business. It is important that transparency exists, especially dealing with city money. It was voted on to have the CRA director report to the CRA board back in January, and the city manager has yet to place it on the agenda. The commission made that decision. The city manager's job is to carry out the duties, not to take it upon himself. The CRA director was totally shut out and was not allowed to attend staff meeting. This is the CRA is a component of the city. It is to improve our community, get rid of blight. Everyone has to work together if we truly do care. We have a mayor who runs the city because the herd has no vote because of the reduction of the commission. Our residents need representation and commissioners who are not afraid to ask questions. It was no secret before I ran that I had a lot of unanswered questions. We need our commissioners, and we all have different talents. Some can travel, and there are times that your commission must go to these different conferences, as you know, to find out what other cities are doing. Lauderdale Lakes is not the only city that has had financial difficulties. Our employees are the backbone of the city, and every one of them deserves to be treated equally and respectfully. If you're a department head or anywhere in between, everyone's job is important, or the city could not run smoothly without our beloved employees. Our employees did suffer because of the financial crash. I do want to thank those who stuck it out. No one should ever have to work and be afraid of losing their job. One issue that was important to me and the residents was our failing underground infrastructure on numerous potholes around the city and the number of Band-Aid repairs around. Commissioner, the same people who say you have spoken to me, that you all talk about, that talk with you all, are the same ones that asked me, when are you going to work on those potholes? You ran on that pretense that you were going to be doing something about it. I had requested the city manager to arrange a meeting with the county to discuss such when I was first elected. Apparently, the city manager did not realize that I was serious, and after being in office 5 months, I had to make another request to him again of the seriousness of the problem. I now have an appointment with the county, we have an appointment with the county, and has finally been made. It's a group discussion. I made the commitment when I ran, and I will work to the best of my ability to get the job done. The problem with finance, unless cleared recently, the 2012, 13, and 14 audit reports are not yet in compliance. Another issue that concerns me is the lack of vision for this city, as we've had our residents come up and talk about it. This all goes back to the responsibility of our city manager. It appears that gas stations are a priority for us. 2 racetrack stations were voted on again by the same majority. What ironic about it is both the stations are in the CRA zone, and any revenues obtained shall go to the CRA and not city funds. So that means that the ad valorem taxes will not be affected, as to be lowered. Another innuendo. A recent meeting was held with several independent former managers and developers who told us that racetrack station was not a good decision. And this was one of the projects that our city managers pushed because staff in his absence said it was a bad project that Planning and zoning, I attended both planning and zoning meetings, was very comfortable that it was not going to be built. The second one, I had no problem with the first one. And lo and behold, I come to represent our homeowners association, and the next thing I know, it's put on the agenda, voted in, and now we have another gas station coming. I was glad to hear that the people who came to do this evaluation for us decided that there are certain things that we need to do. If we're going to be a city, we need to make sure that a vision, what do we want to have? You know, there are a lot of things that we could just take and put up. We have an old car lot right on the intersection of 33rd and Oakland Park Boulevard that has been an eyesore on the corner since Hurricane Wilma hit. It has been at least 6 months since the vote took place. And the corner looks the same, except there's a for sale sign on that building. I assume that they got the okay, and now they're trying to sell. This is another project that the city manager was in favor of. Code enforcement is not about having residents pay fines. It is all about education and being in compliance. This is how we keep our city looking good. We have no information that goes, no information that goes out to homeowners, so a lot of renters don't even know that they're breaking code. We have a color palette. They're not using that because no one understands that we're supposed to come into the city to get a permit that you don't have to pay for. Yes, we have a lot of investors who have purchased properties and rent to anyone because it's about making money, and yet we get full taxes, not homesteaded property. But it's not their neighborhood, and they could care less. Election money could have been better spent on literature to let the residents of this great city know what is expected of them. The city manager has been asked to develop a document. Obviously, rules are on the books, and if there are no consequences for what's following. But by that I mean we have people who you have code violations. You come in, maybe you come in or you're given a violation, and nothing ever happens. So it goes right along. It's another oh well situation. And lastly, the city manager code of ethics. The manager shall be dedicated to the concept of an effective and democratic local government. The city manager must maintain a constructive, creative, and practical attitude toward local governance, affairs, and a deep sense of social responsibility as a trusted public servant. The city manager shall recognize that the chief function of local government at all times is to serve the best interests of the people. The city manager shall keep the community informed on local government affairs, encourage communication between the citizens and local government offices, emphasize friendly and courteous service to the public, and seek to improve the quality and image of our public service. City manager handles all matters of personnel on the basis of merit, so that fairness and impartiality governs manager. Believe that personal decision pertaining to appointments, pay adjustments, promotions, and discipline. The city manager shall seek no favors. Believe that personal aggrandizement or profit secured by confidential information or misuse of public time is dishonest. And lastly, the city manager shall refrain from all political activities which undermine public confidence in personal administration. The city manager refrain from participation in the election of the members of the employing body. Being a commissioner who shall represent the city and residents to the best of my ability, and I understand that sometimes tough decisions have to be made. The city manager serves at the will of the commission. With all that being said, Mr. Mayor, I wish to make a motion that the city manager be removed immediately for cause. I second it.
Mayor, per the charter, I request a hearing at the next available meeting.
No problem.
There's a motion, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Call the question, Madam Clerk. Any discussions? If none, call the roll.
Commissioner Edwina Coleman.
Against.
Commissioner Gloria Lewis.
4.
Vice Mayor Beverly Williams.
4.
Commissioner Patricia Williams.
4.
Commissioner Eileen Rothery.
Against.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry? I didn't hear.
Did you finish? We finished the Roll call.
Yes.
Okay, I'm asking that Mr. Dan Holmes be replaced as the Assistant City Manager until at such time that we can search for a city manager.
Repeat what you said. Can you repeat what you said?
The motion is, I'm asking that Mr. Dan Holmes be the temporary city manager until at such time we're able to get a city manager.
Is that the motion?
Wait
Yes.
a minute.
Second.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Attorney Brady,
Yes.
you have to have 4 votes to terminate a city manager, according to the charter.
No, you just got a 5.
So,
No, you don't.
I don't think that's correct.
Can you verify that? Because you didn't get 4 votes.
And Mayor, and the commission has been reduced. So you don't have 7, so you got your 3-2.
Let's see. This shall by resolution fix and appoint city manager.
It's-
City manager. City manager shall be the chief executive appointment.
I'm shocked.
Removal. City commission may remove city manager on no less than 4 of the 6 city commissioners vote for removal, and the charter having been changed doesn't change the necessity of 4 votes, which is a supermajority. That's what the charter says. That's, I'm reading from section
So you don't have a supermajority.
4.02.
No, and for clarification, just like he said, the city commission of 6, and you don't have 6, you have 5. So the charter has been changed when y'all reduce your commission. So it's another vote on the floor. She had the vote that passed, but she made a motion no matter what. And let them fight it in court.
Okay, so there's another motion to appoint?
No, I just want to make a statement. This is what happens when we reduce.
One second,
Okay.
1 second. I thought you made.
You got a motion on the floor.
Hold on, please. I'm taking it you moved a second motion to appoint Mr. Dan Holmes.
Yes.
Okay.
That was seconded.
Was that seconded?
I second it as acting city manager.
Okay. Call the question, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Beverly Williams,
4.
Commissioner Edwina Coleman,
Against?
Commissioner Gloria Lewis,
4.
Commissioner Eileen Rothery,
Against.
Commissioner Patricia Williams.
4.
Okay. And the next point was there something else?
The next point that I brought up was the city charter was not changed. And if you had to have 4 out of the 6, then you have to have more than 4 out of the 6. You only have 3 out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You reduced the commission.
Hold on 1 second, please.
But the charter was never changed.
Meeting adjourned.
The charter was never changed.
When I made the statement that everything that we,
That's it.
yes.
The Commissioner Coleman has the floor. The Commissioner is saying, do you need that to be addressed, Commissioner?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Brady?
I read to you the provision of the charter. I wish somebody had told me this was coming up. And the charter provides in that regard for a supermajority. It would seem to me you would have to have a supermajority to terminate the city manager, whether you have 5 commissioners or 6 commissioners. And I think we had a 3-2 vote on that question.
Right.
But the city commission has spoken. Commissioner?
I'm
We-
not leaving. I'm going to sign some papers and give these to me.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. We need the loan papers signed. So the city commission has spoken. If that's a question to be resolved in the courts, then that's a question to be resolved in the courts.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney.
Okay, all right. Mr. Manager, do you have any remarks?
Commissioner,
No.
are you going to sign?
I agree with the city attorney.
Okay, but do you have any other remarks? You're normal. Okay, thank you. Mr. Brady?
Yes, I have 3 things, Mayor. I need to advise you with regard to the Guardian litigation, and I'd like you to call a shade meeting. We have an opportunity on the 20th before or after the workshop meeting, or you can wait until maybe the 28th.
Mr.
you won't be
Attorney,
here?
I won't be here.
On the 20th?
No.
Oh, okay, then,
20th or the 28th?
and the 28th?
The
can we hold one?
28th, the 28th I'll be here. but
Okay.
The 20th I won't.
Okay, if we could have one on the 28th, I'd like to talk about I'd like to advise you and get your direction on the cost and associated with that particular case. So far as you know, that case has been, by agreement, abated until we could get to the moment that the new commission could look at the total case, and I'm ready to give you that. Good news is, let's see, today's the 14th?
14th.
As of tomorrow, the engineering firm we were litigating with and we settled will make the last payment of the $42,500 settlement amount. They paid all the other in accordance with the settlement agreement. And the last thing I wanted to remind you, apparently everybody understands it, is there's a certificate here to be signed by each of you in preparation of the closing or the pre-closing tomorrow and the closing of the refunding loan on the 16th.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
just to let everyone know, on the 20th, the CRA meeting has been canceled because we have several members that will be out at a class to take care of CRA learning.
Okay. Commissioner.
Mr.
That's fine.
Brady, what happens now with the city manager?
Well, the city manager, under his contract, if I recall it correctly, has a right to ask for a hearing, a show
He did.
cause
Can we
hearing.
have one person talk at a time, please?
And
Mr.
the
Brady.
the city manager asked for that hearing, so under the contract, we would give him that hearing. On the issue of whether or not the 3-2 vote was sufficient, I've given you my opinion, but the commission's vote seems to be to the contrary. So if that becomes a court case, you can't settle up with the city manager, then I guess it'll be litigated. On the Dan Holmes matter, that failed, didn't it?
No.
Did that pass 3-2? Okay, then Dan Holmes, if he accepts, is your acting city manager, and he has been in that position each time the city manager has been out of town. So presumably, he would be in that position tomorrow.
Does this take effect immediately?
That was your
That's
motion,
what
I
said.
thought.
Okay, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure.
So let me suggest to you that tomorrow we have a pre-closing meeting at, I think it's 10:30. We're supposed to sign or get ready to sign all papers, including the city manager signing. So
Dan Holmes as the
that
actor.
would be Dan Holmes as the acting city manager. We need to get him on board early in the morning.
Mr. Brady, I have an appointment at 10:30, so can I do it before 10:30?
Oh, you don't have to be here for it tomorrow. You just have to sign the paper that Celeste has.
All right.
So who are the people that want to be here tomorrow morning?
You have to be here, Mayor.